I still remember her smile. It was soft like sunlight. It stayed with me forever. We were just teenagers. She lived across the street. I used to see her every morning. Her name was Emily. My name was Ryan. We were young and foolish. I didn't know what love was. But my heart beat faster when I saw her. She laughed and I forgot the world. We met at the school bus stop. She wore blue every day. I liked blue after that. She used to talk about dreams. She wanted to see the sea. I wanted to go with her. We never said I love you. We didn't have to. It was in every look. Sometimes we walked in rain. Sometimes we just sat silent. That silence said everything. Her family moved away when we were 16. I stood at the gate holding back tears. She waved one last time. I promised her I would wait. She smiled and said, "Don't forget me." I never did. Years passed like pages. I worked hard every day. I wanted to become someone she'd be proud of. I studied in the city. She was gone, but not from my heart. Every night I whispered her name. I never dated anyone. I couldn't. Every face reminded me of her. I saved her letters. She wrote a few at first. Then they stopped coming. I told myself she was busy. Maybe she lost my address. Maybe life took her away. But my heart waited. My heart never stopped. My heart still believed. On her birthday every year I bought flowers. I kept them near my window. They were for her. I checked social media once. I couldn't find her. Maybe she deleted it, I thought. Time was cruel. My hair grew, my hands worked, my hope lived. 10 years passed. 10 long, empty years. 10 years of love without a reply. Then one morning, my phone buzzed. It was a message. My heart skipped a beat. It was from an old friend. He said, "Emily's back in town." My eyes filled with tears. I didn't believe it. I read the message again. My hands trembled. I looked in the mirror. I smiled nervously. "She's back," I whispered. I took the old blue shirt from my drawer. It still fit. I still loved her. I walked to the park where we used to sit. The trees were taller, but my heart felt the same. I waited there for hours. Every sound, every step felt like her coming. And then I saw her. After 10 long years, I finally saw her. My heart almost stopped. She looked the same. Maybe even more beautiful. Her eyes still had the same light. She smiled softly when she saw me. But something in her smile was different. That was the moment I realized. Time changes faces. And sometimes love too. She walked closer. My breath froze. My world stopped moving. "Ryan?" she said softly. My name sounded new in her voice. It felt like music again. I smiled like a child. I wanted to speak. No words came out. She laughed gently. "It's been so long." Her eyes searched mine. 10 years, I whispered. My voice shook. My heart did too. We sat on the old bench. The same place, the same silence. Only our souls had changed. She told me she lived in another city. She had a good job. She traveled a lot. I listened quietly. Every word felt like a distance. Every smile felt like goodbye. "Did you ever forget me?" I asked. My voice almost broke. She looked down. Her hands trembled. She didn't answer for a moment. Then she said softly, "I tried to." Her eyes said she failed. My chest tightened. Hope rose again. I wanted to believe we still had time. "I waited," I said, "all these years." She looked away quickly. "Ryan," she whispered, "I'm married." The words cut through air like glass. The world blurred. The wind turned cold. My heart stopped beating for a second. Married? I repeated. The word felt heavy. It didn't fit in my mouth. She nodded slowly. A small silver ring shone on her finger. I stared at it. My eyes burned. My soul collapsed quietly. She said, "He's a good man." I smiled even when it hurt. I wanted to ask why. I wanted to scream. But love kept me gentle. "You look happy," I said. My voice was thin. My smile was false. She looked guilty. Her eyes turned wet. "I never wanted to hurt you," I nodded silently. I couldn't blame her. Life happens while we wait. She told me she kept my letters. She read them when she felt lonely. That broke me again. Because I realized she still remembered, just not enough to return. The sun began to set. The sky turned orange. It felt like our last light together. She said she should go. Her husband was waiting. The word husband hit hard. I stood up. My legs felt weak. My heart screamed quietly inside. She looked at me one last time. "Thank you for waiting," she said. "You loved me truly," I wanted to answer. But my lips stayed closed. Tears spoke instead. She turned and walked away. Each step sounded like a goodbye. I watched her fade into the crowd. My hands were cold. My soul was empty. 10 years of hope ended in 10 minutes. 10 minutes of silence. 10 years of love. The park lights turned on. I sat again on that bench. The world kept moving. People laughed, children ran. But I stayed frozen in time. I looked at the empty path. I whispered her name one last time. The wind carried it away. Maybe to her. Maybe nowhere? I closed my eyes. Love had stayed, but she hadn't. And that was the truth I had to live with. The night before her wedding, I sat on the old bench near the river. I stared at the same stars we once counted together. I wondered if she ever looked for me in them. My phone buzzed with her message. It said only, "Thank you for waiting." I smiled and cried at the same time. Her words were soft but heavy. They broke me and healed me. I knew she still cared, but life had chosen different roads for us. I wanted to reply, but my hands froze. What could I say that wouldn't sound like begging? So I just whispered her name into the wind. The wind carried it somewhere far. Maybe it reached her, maybe not. But I felt light after that. I realized love was not about having someone. It was about wanting them to be happy, even without you. That truth burned, but also freed me. For 10 years I had waited for her shadow. I forgot the sun was still shining behind me. That night, I turned toward it. I went back home and looked in the mirror. My eyes were tired, but my heart was calm. I finally saw the man who had survived love. Months passed like gentle rain. I worked, smiled, and talked again. People noticed the peace I carried. One day I met a woman at a bookstore. She was reading the same poetry book Grace once loved. I smiled at the coincidence. We talked about words and time. She laughed the same way Grace used to, but differently. Her laugh didn't hurt me. It healed me. We met again, not because I planned it, but because life did. Every meeting felt lighter, easier. The pain was turning into memory. One evening, she asked about the ring on my chain. I told her it was a promise that once existed. She nodded and said, "Then maybe you're ready for new promises." I didn't answer, but my silence said yes. For the first time in years, my heart didn't tremble. It felt alive. Grace's wedding pictures appeared online. She looked radiant, glowing with peace. I smiled and closed the screen. I whispered, "You got the life you wanted." And somewhere deep inside, I knew I had found mine too. Love didn't die. It changed its form. It became understanding, kindness, and strength. That's how I learned what true love really is. The boy who once waited was gone. The man who forgave remained. And he was finally free. Every night I still walk by the river. I don't wait anymore. I just listen to the wind, the water, and my quiet heart. Love taught me patience. Life taught me peace. Together they made me whole again.